You have some
Hey,
really expressive
everybody.
eyebrows. Sorry.
Hey, everybody. This is How It Continues, episode 281. Honk, 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 honk. Episode 281, recorded live on Eid. Eid Mubarak to everybody who is celebrating, other than myself. I'm pointing at the listeners out there.
Gotcha.
Anyways, welcome to How It Continues, episode 281, a weekly podcast posted up every Monday on addict.continues.com as an MP3, or goes up before that on youtube.com/addict as a video where you see myself pointing at the camera because I'm pointing at the listeners. I am Staffa, and I am the host of the show, and each week I have a guest host. This week I have Chris.
Woo! How's it going?
All right, how you doing?
I'm surviving.
I'm glad that you're surviving.
I've spent all weekend programming. My brain's a little mush.
Oh, I'm sorry here. So you're using this as a break?
Yep.
Just figure you gotta step away from the programming for a little bit.
Yeah. It's always good to look at something else and get back to it later.
Well, Chris, you're also the hero of the podcast because I needed somebody to record with.
That is true.
So anyways, this week's episode segments will include our main topic, which is going to be asking the question, are there too many games in 2017? The answer is, of course not, but we're going to still ask that question and talk about it. After that, quick announcements, and then we're going to go over some news topics. But a quick disclaimer is all opinions expressed on this show are of our own and not of our employers, whether past, present, or future. Hashtag don't fire Staffa. Hashtag promote Staffa. So anyways, let's before we get into our main topic, Chris, I just want to ask you real quick if you can answer this question in a reasonable amount of time. You were at E3 last week as a not as media or as industry, but as what do they call
public ticket, I believe.
Yeah, public. You were there as public, and you went all 3 days.
Yeah.
Did E3 meet your expectations? Or did it go beyond your expectations, whether in a good or bad way? How was it overall for you?
I think it was a lot of fun, though there were a lot of people, though. That seems to be just something I've got to get used to in LA. Just every convention, everything that I go to has way too many people in it. And I think there were 70,000 people there this year, something along those lines. And it was tight, man. There were a lot of people in all those spaces. And I don't know, it was just there was a lot of lines. There was some amazing content. I did get to see quite a few games that were being demoed, but yeah, I had to wait in a lot of lines.
How much were those tickets again?
I think it was about $250.
Okay, I mean, it could be worse.
It could be worse. I found myself comparing it to PAX, though. I've been to PAX West in Seattle, and honestly, I like PAX better. I think PAX is a better public facing convention, electronics convention to go to than E3 was.
Well, I mean, PAX is specifically designed for fans. That's the reason why PAX even started existing, was because E3 wasn't for the public.
Yep.
And Penny Arcade wanted to do something similar to E3 but for the fans, and that's pretty much why PAX was even born to begin with. And yeah, I mean, E3 is a trade show.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, you did mention that it was very crowded because of LA, but I mean, I'm no like veteran of E3 or anything. I've only went to one previous one, but talking to other people who have gone to many E3s, this was definitely the most crowded E3 in like quite some time. No one seemed like none of the exhibitors uh, took account for all the extra public people that were going to be there. I did hear that there's quite a few people who bought public passes that were very disappointed in their experience because of their experience basically being waiting in line for hours and hours and hours. But
it was some serious waiting in line. The most upsetting part of the whole experience for me was that I really wanted to go and play the new Doom VFR game, and the lines for that were like 4, 5, 6 hours, and that's just crazy.
But yeah, you did it, E3.
Woo.
So anyways, let's move on. Talk about our main topic. Too many games. Are there too many games in 2017? And the reason why I'm asking this question is because we're about halfway through the year, and we've already had so many titles released this year that are critically acclaimed. Titles that people are already saying this is game of the year material, and we're only halfway through the year. This might be like one of the biggest years in gaming in quite a while. I mean, there's been several standout years in gaming, like you think 1998. That year had like Metal Gear Solid. Oh man, there's so many other games of 1998. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid, StarCraft, Resident Evil 2, Half-Life 1, Soul Calibur. Oh wait, well that's in Japan. That doesn't count. Ocarina of Time. Just so many really memorable games came out that year. I remember 2004 was also a really big year. Half-Life 2, Halo 2, World of Warcraft.
Yep.
That was. I remember 2004 being a pretty big year, but now, I mean, 2017. Let's look at some of the games that have already come out. Just this half of the year, we have Zelda, Horizon Zero Dawn, Tom Clancy's Wildlands, For Honor, Gravity Rush 2, Persona 5, Nier Automata, Yakuza 0, Neo, Tekken 7, Injustice 2, Prey, Resident Evil 7, Outlast 2, Friday the 13th. I mean, like that's like in no order at all, but I mean, definitely not the order of release date. It's like no order at all. But like the majority of those games, people have been saying these are like game of the year material, and I mean, we're lucky to have Mass Effect Andromeda coming out broken and getting bad reviews, because that would be like an additional game on everyone's backlog.
Yeah, it's been an exciting year. It's been a lot of fun. I haven't really been able to play the majority of the games, really any of those games. I've really just been playing Rocket League, but yeah, it looks they're all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, I have a friend at work who wants to lend me Nier Automata. I have another friend at work who wants to lend me Horizon Zero Dawn. Everyone at work has been like, "Oh, have you played Zelda?" It's like, I don't have a Switch or a Wii U. What's wrong with you? It's like, well, I don't want a Wii U.
Have the Switches become available yet?
Yeah,
I've been
Switch
looking
is
for them.
unavailable and a bit out of my price tag. So nah. And For Honor, I mean, like no one's talking about it now because it's a multiplayer only game. But when it came out, a lot of people were talking about it.
Hmm.
It was played by a lot of people, and it had pretty good reviews at the time. So I mean, the list of games that we gone through, definitely a lot of really good games. I mean, the fact that there's 2 fighting games on there that are critically acclaimed. You know, we have Tekken 7 and Injustice 2. I mean, when was the last year in which there was like 2 good fighting games?
I don't know. When did that last Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter come out at the same year, or was that 2015 and 2016?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it might have been separate years.
I mean, the Mortal Kombat X, I don't think it came out. I think Street Fighter 5 came out after Mortal Kombat X.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's I'm really looking forward to Tekken 7. That I haven't been able to play that yet, but that I used to play that all the time back when I was a kid. So that should be an awesome game.
Yeah. And earlier in the year, Neo came out, and for those who forgot what Neo is, it's the game by Team Ninja that's like gameplay is inspired from Dark Souls. So I mean, it was crazy that there's even a Team Ninja game that was actually getting good reviews. You know, I was when it came out. I mean, before it came out, I was like, I'm not really too interested. You know, I haven't really beat Dark Souls, and also, it's. I mean, when was the last time Team Ninja released a good game? But after it came out, I was like, oh, I'm happy that Team Ninja finally released a good game in forever. So you said you played Friday the 13th and Outlast 2?
Well, I've watched some people play Outlast 2 and Resident Evil 7, and yeah, I did play some Friday the 13th. That was fun times.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Friday the 13th you'd consider a good game?
Yeah, Friday the 13th looks like it's a lot of fun. It's another one of those like 4v1 style multiplayer games, and you know, it's good times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Resident Evil 7, I didn't play it myself. I was backseat playing it. There was like a group of us from work at a guy's place. You know, he invited us all over to watch UFC, but we ended up not watching UFC. And so we're playing Resident Evil 7, waiting for UFC to come on. Ended up lost track of time, but regardless, I didn't want to take control of the game myself because it's been a while since I've used a gamepad, and I don't want to be that guy missing every shot.
Yeah. I didn't play. I haven't played Resident Evil 7 yet because I'm waiting for it to come out on the Vive. I'm hoping that you know, within the next year or so, it should at least get ported to the Vive. I don't know if they'll release it themselves, but
yeah, I mean, like when I was you know, backseat playing, I was like the only one in the group actually pointing out the right thing to do. Like everyone else is like, oh, what do you do next? I'm like, dude, that thing down there is sparkling. Go towards it. Turn to your left. No, you went too far. A little to your right. There. Look down. Click on it. It's sparkling.
yeah, all the Resident Evils just kind of have a design language about navigating those those levels.
But yeah, I mean, it seemed like it was a very intense game as far as like having suspense, and it seemed a bit more action focused than what the original demo was leading people to believe. Like I remember the demo, it made people think it was going to be like PT,
Right.
you know, like just straight up like a psychological horror game with no real weapons or anything. But yeah, it's pretty much like an action horror. But still, it looks like it's pretty well made, and it got really good reviews.
Yep. Yeah, it
Which,
looks like it's got great polish, great pacing. Looks like a lot of fun.
yeah, and Resident Evil needed that.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean,
you know,
I really liked Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil 5. I didn't play a whole lot of Resident Evil 4, and I hated the first three Resident Evils.
oh,
But
you like Resident Evil 6?
I did like Resident Evil 6. Yeah, I mean, it
See,
was.
Resident Evil 6 was the one
I,
that like everyone hated.
yeah, I mean, it's all the Resident Evil purists that hated it. But as a video game, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it's you know, it's not the original Resident Evil like style, but the fixed cameras and the terrible controls and all that part was like the. I feel like that was what was missing from Resident Evil 6, and that's not a good reason to punish a game.
Yeah. I haven't really played too much of Resident Evil 4. I played a little bit of it, but it seems that a lot of people consider that to be like the peak, where it got really good for Resident Evil games, for the fans. And then 5 was kind of the same, but like a little bit more action oriented, more co-op focused, and less horror. So
Yeah.
I believe it got not as well received by the fans as 4. And then 6 definitely people didn't like that one. So, to see a Resident Evil game that people are actually happy about, that's a good thing. Because
Yeah.
why should we, want bad video games?
Well, I think 5 and 6 were definitely lacking in mood and in feeling and depth, and that's something that this Resident Evil 7 game has tons of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like Injustice 2. I really liked the first Injustice game, and I wasn't really hyped for the second one. With the months leading up to the release, it's like, I'm not really excited anymore. But after it came out, it got amazing reviews, and Chris just disappeared on me. So I'm just gonna keep talking. I was surprised that it got amazing reviews because I didn't really expect that type of game. I'm going to Chris just question marked me, so I'm going to tell him get back in. So, anyways, yeah. So it got there you go, Chris. You back?
Yeah, what happened there? Did your
I think you disconnected.
it had a message on there that said that the computer went to sleep, but not my computer. It was like in Hangouts said that the computer went to sleep. So I don't know if that meant yours did or.
Huh? That doesn't make any sense.
I've never seen that message before in my life. It makes no sense.
I never heard of that message before. So, anyways, I was talking about Injustice 2 as you left here, and yeah, I wasn't really expecting much out of it, but once it came out, it got great reviews, especially for the single player and leveling up your character and all the RPG elements that they added to it. Makes it sound very interesting and sounds like it has a lot of replay value for single player. And so I would really like to check out Injustice 2 at this point. Also, Prey. Another game that I don't know, I was kind of interested in, but not really too interested in because of the fact that it has nothing to do with the original Prey game. It's not a sequel.
Right. Yep.
But it got great reviews. And and I guess the 3 games that sound like they're getting the most praise are Zelda, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Nier Automata. So I guess since I don't have a Switch and don't have a Wii U, I guess Horizon Zero Dawn and Nier are probably 2 games that I should play before the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But still, like the point of this whole discussion is there's a lot of games that came out in the past 6 months that are considered to be great, and it's impossible to keep up.
Yeah.
Is there anyone out there who is complaining that there is not enough games in 2017? Because if there is someone out there saying there's not enough games, I want to know who you are, and I want you to tell me, like, what do you do for a living? Like, you just sit there and play games all day, every day? Because how the heck have you caught up with all these games?
Yeah.
So you agree? There's too many games? 2017.
Wow, I don't know if I'd call it too many games. I'm excited that there's so many games,
Yeah.
but I don't have the time to play much these
Yeah.
days. So
Yeah.
they'll be on the shelf, and I'll eventually get around to them.
Now, don't get me wrong. Having more options is a good thing. It's just, for gaming enthusiasts, it's become impossible to like keep up with all the new releases at this point. You know, back in the day, it was like, oh, did you play Metal Gear Solid? Like, everyone was playing Metal Gear Solid at the same time. You know, did you play Zelda? Everyone's playing Zelda at the same time. You know, there was like one big release like a month or something like that. Now it's like there's like 3 big releases within a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
What do? You can't. It is impossible to keep up, and that's like we didn't even mention any like indie games either.
Yep.
None of those are indie. Well, I guess Outlast 2 is like the only one on the list that's an indie game, I suppose. Mass Effect Andromeda, probably an indie game. I mean, like they had to have the budget of an indie game for it to be that broken. Burn. But yeah, I mean, we still got the rest of the year. We still got plenty more games coming. We got 2 Mario games coming out this year. You know, we got Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Is that coming out this year or next year? I think it's next year, like February next year. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but the I saw that game at E3. That looked like a lot of fun.
I played it.
Very Marvel vs. Capcom-y.
Communist?
Marvel vs. Capcom-y.
Marvel vs. Capcommunist? Is that what you're trying to say here?
The old Marvel vs. Capcom games. Shut up.
I got to play at E3. That was like one of the few games I actually played at E3. I really liked it. But yeah, plenty of highly anticipated games still coming out this year, and you know we've gotten to the point where the gaming industry has at least doubled. I mean, probably even quadrupled the size of what it used to be in the 90s. You know, there's just so many game studios at this point. You know, that's not even including the indie game developers and indie game studios. Just, you know, regular, big team studios. There's tons of them right now. You include the indies, there's so many of them, and it's gotten to the point. I feel like we've gotten to the point that it's basically impossible to, be like a gaming enthusiast that likes to play all the new releases. We gotten to the point where it's like you have to, kind of like narrow your
scope.
narrow your scope, narrow your interest in gaming.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, it's tough for people with jobs to keep up these days, but it's because now we have jobs and now we have money and now we're buying all these games, and so game development's big business. It's going to keep growing.
Mm-hmm. Anything you want to add? Any of those games that you are looking forward to playing? Still looking forward to playing, despite it already being out.
Well, I'm definitely, as soon as I find a Switch, I'm definitely going to play Zelda. I think that I haven't played Zelda since the Ocarina of Time, way back in the day, and I missed all the GameCube and the Wii games. So I'm looking forward to getting back into that.
All right, and let's move on to something that we definitely don't have too much of, and that's DreamHost, because they offer despite we don't have too much of them, despite them offering unlimited storage, unlimited bandwidth, unlimited user-friendly interface, and they're also optimized to use content managers such as WordPress and many more features. All that just for $7.95 US. And if you use the promo code OUTOFCONTINUES, that's one word, no spaces, it'll waive away the set fee and get you a free domain registration. Bam! That's nuts. I mean, I just blew my mind. I don't even know what who I am anymore. What am I? Where am I? But yeah. Quick announcements. iTunes, we can use iTunes reviews. If you use iTunes, please leave a review on the iTunes page for the podcast. It's one of the single most helpful things you could do for the podcast, which is leave a review. And if you can't leave a review for whatever reason, you can still help out the podcast by sharing the podcast on social media, such as Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, whatever. Knock on your neighbor's door, tell them about Out It Continues. And if they say what, then just say Out It Continues. Simple as that. So anyways, let's get into the news. Let me get the news up. Here we go. Let me share the screen. We're going to talk about some news. There we go. Hello. How's it going, Chris? So, Call of Duty World War II's new war mode makes multiplayer feel fresh. So this article from GameSpot discusses or describes the new war mode and Call of Duty World War II's multiplayer, and basically sounds like a objective-based mode. It's not just team deathmatch, which team deathmatch is still a mode in the game, but reading through this article, it talks about how you basically have to have I don't know. It doesn't explain why, but each person has a different loadout. It makes it sound a little bit like Overwatch, where you can't have two of the same character selected. Also, let's talk about the different type of objectives that you do, and one of them is escorting a battle tank, aka pushing a payload. So I don't know, maybe I'm looking too much into this, but it's sounding a little Overwatchy to me.
Definitely sounds a little Overwatchy.
Yeah. Not Capcom-y at all. Just Overwatchy. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing what they have going on with this game. Moving on, you probably don't have anything to say, do you?
No, not really. I haven't really been keeping up too much with Call of Duty.
Okay. Let's move on. Let's talk about some Wolfenstein. So, have you played Wolfenstein, the New Order?
I have not personally played it, though Kaylee is actually playing it right this second, across the room from me. We watched some of the new Wolfenstein footage for that new game, and Kaylee got excited about it and wanted to play through the old game so that she can be ready for the new game when it comes out. And
I remember you bought the New Order for me.
I did. Yep, I bought it for you, and I thought, yeah, I'll just connect via the Steam Share thing, and I'll play that game, and I never did.
You did connect to Steam Share though.
I did. I connected to Steam Share. I don't know if I ever played any of your games, but
I think
nice
you played EMC Devil May Cry.
Oh yeah.
Or was that one of your friends?
Maybe. I think Travis has that as well. Yeah, I did. I do like some nice hack and slash games every once in a while. It's fun times.
But yeah, so this article basically talks about how the developer of the game is there a name down here? Okay, creative director Jens Martiz. I'm probably
yours.
Matisse. Mathis.
Yeah, something like that.
Jens. So the creative director Jens discusses that they've always viewed their plans for this game to be a trilogy, even though it's never been like announced or confirmed to be a trilogy. Like that's just in his head. He wants it to be a trilogy. So no confirmation at all. This is just him saying, yeah, and in my mind, I would like this. In an ideal world, if we sell enough copies of this game, I would like this to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
That's basically what he's saying. And he also mentioned that that's why the first game doesn't end with you fighting Hitler in a mech. Because he basically says that once you fight Hitler in a mech, or Mecha Hitler, or whatever he says, like once you do that, you can't
can't top that.
Yeah, you can't top that. That's like the pinnacle of the game. So you might as well leave that for like the third game,
I suppose.
Which, you know what? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I had few complaints about the New Order. I love the game. I thought it was amazing. I was a bit disappointed that I fought Death's Head riding a mech. I mean, like the guy's name is a bit too on the nose. And I did not care for Death's Head. I would rather be fighting Hitler in a mech. But you know what? Now that he's mentioned it, hey, I would like to save that for the third game. It's like, okay, all right, I'll see what you got. I'll play your next game, and you better work on that third game. Make it happen. I want to kill Hitler in the mech.
Don't we all?
You have anything you want to add?
No. Like I said, I might get around to playing it after Kaylee's done with it, but no, I haven't played it yet. I did play Wolfenstein way back in the day. The original Wolfenstein. That was a lot of fun.
And it was awesome fighting Hitler in a mech, right?
It's so pixelated. I don't know if I remember exactly of a Mecha Hitler, but maybe.
Wolfenstein Hitler. So, yeah. Basically, he's riding this mech, and then after you destroy the mech, he comes out and he has like 2 Gatling guns, and he's like all beefy.
I do remember that now. Yeah.
Like, dude was jacked. He was swole.
That was a long time ago.
Oh yeah. Let's move on. Let's talk about something that's that you have a lot of experience with. Rocket League.
Rocket League. Yeah. I have a lot of experience at being bad at it.
Oh my god! I always see GameSpot's typos and errors, and they look how they spelled soccer.
It's soccer. It's car soccer.
That's the car, the planet that Hulk landed on and liberated.
Yeah,
So
it's
so anyways, Rocket League tournament will be televised on NBC Sports.
big.
Yeah, that is pretty big. So this isn't the first time that an esport has been televised. Esports have shown up on like one of the ESPN
Yep.
channels. Like uh, I want to say Dota. Let me see. Heroes of the Storm was on ESPN too, and Injustice 2 was on TBS, and yeah. So it's not the first time that esports is on has appeared televised, but it's definitely a big victory for or a step forward for esports for another game to be televised on another network.
Yeah.
And basically NBC Sports said that the reason why they chose Rocket League is because it's a game that's been continuously growing with the player base. Also, because it's very similar to soccer. I mean, they don't say soccer in this article, but because of its similarities to real life sports, it's easy for people to watch it and understand what's going on. So, if someone who isn't, a gamer, someone who hasn't played Rocket League, just someone who's watching, NBC Sports for the sports, they can if they're on the channel and they're like, what the heck is this? They can just, they're watching and they can easily understand what's happening. It's not a game that, requires a lot of explaining as to what's going on.
Yeah, it's an exciting game too. I mean, even as a watching it without playing it, some of the things, especially some of the things those pros do, are just unbelievable. And those announcers get pretty excited. It's I've seen a few Rocket League tournaments, and they're a lot of fun. I enjoy them.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say like the easiest games for people to just watch and understand would probably be like Rocket League would probably be one of them on the top of the list, as well as fighting games. Those are very easy to understand. Sometimes people don't understand them as well as they should because the games are a bit more deep than others. Like for example, Street Fighter 3 with the pairing system.
Yeah.
That people who have never played the game or don't understand the game don't realize how difficult it is to parry.
Yeah.
So when they see something like Daigo versus Justin Wong, like they don't know how amazing that is.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, for the most part, the majority of fighting games are easy to understand. There's two people fighting and life bar depletes. Bam.
Yeah. Yep. Ball goes into goal.
Yeah, very easy. So congratulations on what's the name? Psyonix,
yeah.
Psyonix, yes. Congrats to them for getting this deal to go through with NBC Sports, and yeah, it's nice to see a game like this get highlighted for a tournament of this magnitude, because it's like I said, it's easy to understand, and also the game itself is, I'd say it's all about skill. There's really no randomness to the game. It's not like a game that has like crit damage or like Hearthstone that has tons of random effects when you play a card. There's no like slot machine, hope for the best. Am I going to win or lose due to this risky play? It's all skill.
It is all skill, yeah.
So yeah, excellent game for them to pick, and congrats to Psyonix. So moving on. Okay, so Nintendo execs talk about the crossplay between the Nintendo Switch and Xbox One / PC. And basically, like Nintendo says that they are taking the online with the Nintendo Switch very seriously. And let me get the quote real quick. Pretty sure that's... Well, thank you, video, for autoplay. Okay, so trying to find where the quote was at. I'm really happy, just as a gamer, let alone working for the company, that crossplay is going to be possible. We're trying to be more flexible as a company. We're reaching out to try to get people to interact with our IP. In this case, Rocket League is Psyonix's IP on our system, but we're trying to get people involved with us in any way. So, yeah. I read in the quote, they're trying to be more flexible with how they're handling this, and trying to get as many people as possible to get exposed to their IPs. So I mean, I think that you can also kind of roughly translate that to saying we want to have as big of a multiplayer base as possible.
Yeah. Did I lose you again? Hello? The audio cut out. I don't know.
Hello.
This has been a fun little session here.
Yeah, power surged.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so here's what we should do at this point. Stop your audio recording.
All right.
And so like you'll save that as like file 1.
All right.
Of 1 of 2. EP281 Safa 1. And then we're going to make a new file.
You want me to save the project or export it as an audio file?
Export. So make a new file, and we're going to continue our discussion. So at least I got pretty far in mine. I got 42-ish minutes.
Let's see here. How long is mine?
New audio.
Yeah, I got 44 minutes on mine. So
Okay. 1, 2. All right. So when you got that saved, let me know when you're ready to start recording the next one.
all right, I'm ready.
All right, let's start recording, and then we're gonna do a countdown.
Okay.
10,
9,
8,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2,
1.
and we're back. I had a power surge, so we're talking about that one game, Psionics, Rocket League. Yes. So yeah, I mean, basically what I was saying was, yeah, good for them. So, I mean, I was pretty much done with the discussion, but
Yeah.
let's move on. Let's talk about the next article, and I can screen share as well on that one. Let's do this screen share. There we go. All right. All right. Nintendo apologizes for a Switch shortage. So basically, Nintendo put out an apology on their Japanese website. This is not anywhere else, just a Japanese website. And GameSpot, I guess they don't have any Japanese speaking people on their staff because they translated it through Google. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what that says about their company if they don't have any Japanese speaking people on in their staff. But I mean, I'm only one man, so there's a big difference. But anyways, so they basically translated this message says, for autumn and beyond, we will continue to work to ensure that as many products as possible can be delivered to our customers towards the end of the year. Yeah. So they basically acknowledge the fact that they have not been reaching demand with the numbers of switches, and they're going to try their best to do so.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I don't have a Switch yet. Is it's too much effort to find one. I'm not paying a premium for it, and you know, it'll be nice when they get them out, but I'm in no rush personally.
Like, Nintendo has been this way with like all their hardware.
Yeah, this is definitely par for the course for them.
Yeah. I mean, they were this way with the Wii, but the Wii was a phenomenon. People were crazy for that. I guess they weren't this way for the Wii U because no one wanted a Wii U. But they were also like this for the NES Classic.
Yep. Yeah, the NES Classic sold out so fast.
Yeah. And then they stopped production on it, even though it was still selling out.
Yep.
So that makes sense.
Be a collector's item one day.
Yeah.
Worth more than the Nintendo.
Yeah. So let's talk about Overwatch. Well, it's not just Overwatch. This is both Overwatch and Hearthstone. So both those games are going to have changes done with their for Overwatch's loot boxes and with Hearthstone's card packs. They're going to basically do away with duplicates, so that whenever you open up a pack in Hearthstone, you will never get a duplicate legendary. And I'm not sure about the other cards, but I know at least legendaries, you'll never get a duplicate until you own all legendaries, which the average person will never get to that point. And same with Overwatch. You're never going to get any duplicates at all when you open up a loot box. And until you own every single item, which that'll take you forever because there's a lot of sprays in the game. But since there's a finite number of items, there will be a point, or there theoretically can be a point in which you will get a duplicate. And one thing that they've mentioned that they're also changing due to the system having no more duplicates is the amount of gold you will get, or sorry, I think they said like number of duplicates will be drastically reduced or something like that. But regardless, like you get gold whenever you do get a duplicate, and people use that gold to purchase the items that they want. And since there's gonna be like less duplicates, they're gonna make up for that by making the amount of gold that you get for a duplicate a lot more, to kind of make up for that. So, it's interesting to see that they're doing that to both those games at the same time. And also, yeah, I mean, like with Hearthstone, I think it's going to make it, it's going to encourage people to open up more packs, because at a certain point it gets discouraging to open up packs and you just keep on getting the same trash over and over. And with Hearthstone, it's like you already paid for the game, so why the heck are you like grinding just for these items that you already bought the game? It's not like it's a free to play game or anything like that, you know?
Yeah.
So do you have any input you want to add on this?
I mean, I like the idea a lot. I wish that Psyonix would, implement something like that for Rocket League. Whenever you get keys and open up crates in Rocket League, a lot of times you get duplicates, and it's kind of annoying. I mean, you can trade them, but I don't really do the whole lot of trading. I give stuff away to people every once in a while, but I'm not really interested in-game economies.
Mm-hmm.
And dealing with all that. So, just not getting duplicates, or even if it was like a selectable option, like you could choose whether or not to get the duplicates, that'd be, that'd be awesome.
You got to get a Nintendo Switch so that you can get that Mario hat on your on your Rocket League car.
Yep. I've seen a few of those.
But yeah. Final news article, unless you want to add anything else.
Nope.
All right, final news article. So, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered is finally confirmed to be a standalone release. Starting, I think, like Monday or Tuesday or something like that. Tuesday. Starting Tuesday, it will be $40. You can purchase it on the PlayStation Store. And nothing has been announced for PC or Xbox One at the time. So it says Activision's press release notes other platforms will follow. So my guess is 30 days, because that's what they usually do with Call of Duty content. It's like on PlayStation first for 30 days. That's just a complete, I guess, educated guess. Maybe, or would it be an uneducated? Since I'm just guessing. I'm guessing. I'm using patterns.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that you would have the data.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, considering that like everything else has been coming out on PlayStation for 30 days prior to the other platforms, I'd say that's how they're gonna do it. They're gonna release it on there, and this is quite interesting because a lot of people were very angry about Infinite Warfare because they wanted Modern Warfare Remastered, but they didn't want Infinite Warfare. And the only way that you can get Modern Warfare Remastered was by getting the digital or the deluxe edition of Infinite Warfare, which was like $90 or something like that. 80. It was like $80 or $90. I think it was 80.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. People are like, oh, I get to buy Modern Warfare Remastered, and it comes with Infinite Warfare for free. So, seems like, people are still demanding for this game. So, there we go.
It's a good game. One of the few.
All right, let's wrap this up. There we go. Hello. All right. So I don't even know where my notes are now. Can't see where I've placed them. Do I even have notes? There they are. Yes, I do. So, anyways, listener feedback. If you'd like to write into the podcast, you can do so by writing to podcast@advocatenews.com. Send us your questions, your comments, any feedback. Just email us. It's free. Just go open to your email app right now. Whether it's a Gmail or whatever the heck iPhone uses, it's probably just email app. Click on that, the little envelope, then type podcast@outofcanteens.com, subject line feedback, and in the body, you can click on that part. It'll bring up the little keyboard, and you can click on the little microphone in the corner, so you can just speak your question or comment.
The critical question, though, is if it doesn't say feedback in the subject line, are you going to ignore it?
They can type whatever they want in the subject line, but I'm just giving a suggestion here. This is more of a suggestion. It's not a rule. It's just a suggestion.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and then just be like, hey, what's up, Staffa? Please explain to me why Smash Brothers is not a fighting game, and I'll be like, you know what? I'm glad you asked that question, and I'll do that right now. I'll explain why Smash Brothers is not a fighting game. So, anyways, let's wrap this up. So I don't really have anything to plug, so I'm just go straight to the other stuff. If you enjoy what you've been hearing, you can support us by liking us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, leave an iTunes review, subscribe to the Google Play Music. You can contact by email us podcast@advocatenews.com, subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/advocatenews. All those things I just said, they are on the website. That's www.advocatenews.com. You can give me a tweet. I'm at SayedStafa. That's at SayedStafa. I would like to thank my guest host for joining me today, Chris.
I see Niraj.
That was the person I was going to record with earlier.
Gotcha. I was second choice, huh? Okay.
You're a busy man.
I am a busy man. And I almost said no. Technically, I did say no first.
Thank you for being the hero of the podcast this week.
Hero of the podcast.
Yep.
My lovely laugh track.
Thank you for being a hero. And with that said, I'm your host, Stafa. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can click on the Out of Continues icon that's hovering over my face to subscribe. And then you can click on the icon that's hovering near my microphone over here for last week's episode. And then over here near my hallway, click on that for the week before that. Bye.